Hi everybody, welcome to week 2. I hope everybody had a wonderful long weekend and you're ready to get back to this. Last week we covered the introduction to this, a little bit of history of Las Vegas, and took a look at the Harris Survey of Casino Markets. Everyone should have received a copy of the text or has it on order. If you don't, please let me know and I'll find out where it is in the process, and maybe I can help you with some of the materials until the text arrives. I want you to stay on track with this because I got to tell you, this is, like I said earlier, a little bit tougher class than most people understand because there's a lot to this business. Now, this week we're talking about integrated resorts, which is what we think of when we think of traditional hotel casinos. Pay attention to the financials. There's a debate among old school casino guys and modern casino management, mainly finance driven guys, about revenue centers. It's what we call revenue management these days. And I teach a course in revenue management, by the way. If you're interested in that, it's very interesting. And we talk about loss leaders and profit centers. For example, the old school guys said, let's give away the buffet or at least cover our costs, because that's a reward for people playing in our casino. You have a $2 buffet and people will come in just for the buffet, and guess what? They're walking past gaming devices and they will wind up playing. So you wind up getting a net number out of people's pockets, and what we call share of wallet. You get more money out of them than your competitor would by driving that particular price of a buffet, for example, at a low cost. Another example of that is we would price hotel rooms or comp hotel rooms, meaning we give them away free to players. An old saying we had was a $100 player turns into a $200 player if you give them a free hotel room so they can stay overnight. This is somewhat true. However, the other side, these new finance guys, and they've got their argument as well, is that everything should be a profit center. In most cases, this is the winning argument because every entity is a profit center. It has its own expense allocation, and you want those to make money, so the overall resort makes money. That is a different way of looking at it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's just different, but I want you guys to understand how that is measured and the importance of that. So take a look at that. And I'd be interested if you get a chance to shoot me your thoughts on that. What would drive business? And understand it's about measurement. Okay, we can discount the price of some amenities if it drives certain gaming revenue, but how do we measure whether that's exactly what happened or if we have people just taking advantage of us? Okay, I'll give you a hint. It moves to incremental revenue of the individual player or the player folio. Okay, brain snacks. Now, each week I'm going to try to give you this little segment called Brain Snacks, which is something I've learned or I find interesting that I want to share with you from my experience throughout my career pertaining to this class or this lesson coming up or the lesson we just had. And one of the things I love about this industry is the history, the characters, the people we get involved in. Within that lesson, I believe I talked about Steve Wynn and my mentor, Lyle Berman, one of my mentors. The other one's Dr. Richard Schutz. We'll hear about him later in the semester. But I wanted to introduce you to a couple of places out in Las Vegas. Please let me know if you've ever been there, by the way, but these are some fun places to go. Now, there's the Peppermill Restaurant and Lounge. It was pre-pandemic, a 24-hour place to go and have lunch, breakfast, dinner, what have you. It's a staple there. It's off the strip a little bit, between downtown and the strip, and here's some pictures of it I found from way back when. It's kind of campy and with the neon lights and everything. But what was fascinating is when I lived out there, I would go there and I would listen to the industry people, the dealers, the dancers, the cocktail servers, all of this. They would wind up there after shift and they would talk shop. And I could understand what's going on, kind of get a qualitative view of what the industry and the pulse of the city is. and they have wonderful anecdotal stories that you can listen to and hear what's going on. I would always go there, order a light breakfast, put down my 25th cup of coffee, and listen to them, and became friends, a lot of good friends to this day with quite a few of them. And they're fantastic. That's a good place to visit. Peppermill Restaurant and Lounge. Take a look. There it is there. There's another one that if you go there, in terms of history, is the Golden Gate Hotel. It was one of the original ones. It was built in 1906, and Blue Eyes and the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, those guys used to play there. That was their normal setup. But the Golden Gate Casino is now on Fremont Street. It's always been on Fremont Street, but you can go there. Here's a couple of photos that show back when you had crowds. Another one is the Golden Steer Steakhouse. You can actually get the Elvis booth there if you want. It's where everybody would hang out. All the Hollywood celebrities would hang out way back in the glory days of the casino time, when you dressed up to go to casinos, and it was a night out. It's quite the glitz and glamour. So those are some places you could check out. There are definitely places I like to go to every so often when I'm out there, and take a look at those. So another thing to notice, if you get out there, two big casinos are the Venetian and the Palazzo. They were Mr. Adelson's hotels. He just passed away, by the way. And those sit where the old Sands used to sit. And the Sands was where all the big ones from way back when, the Rat Pack, who I am huge fans of, that's where they would play. And you had all the old comedians, all the old showmen, if you will, of Las Vegas would play at the Sands. It's no longer there, but the Venetian and the Palazzo, if you want to get some reference there. Also, ever seen Ocean's 11, the new one, with Brad Pitt and a couple of George Clooney? It was filmed in part at the Bellagio Hotel, which is a Wynn design. Steve Wynn designed that. And a funny thing is, he once told me it would be cheaper to give his wife Bellagio than it would be to divorce her. I've met Mr. Wynn a few times. There's a couple of things. If you would like to take a look at that movie again, Ocean's 11 is very entertaining. The whole series is pretty entertaining. And you'll notice the Bellagio in the background using that particular casino. Now, one more announcement here, and this is just in general for you guys. The Jazz Fest is rumored to be coming back to New Orleans. It is produced by the Jazz and Heritage Festival, or New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation of New Orleans. The New Orleans Jazz. Anyhow, you got the idea. It is a 2-weekend music festival that is one of the most well-run music festivals I've ever been to, and I've been to hundreds of them. And it is accessible to you guys because it's 9 hours away from a drive from Fayetteville, or it's a quick flight from Dallas. Well worth the weekend. It is nonstop music for 3 days the first weekend, and I believe 3 days the second weekend. Right now it's rumored to be starting October 8th. It's in the fall. Hopefully live in person where you can go and have fun and see all kinds of... You'll have headliners like The Who, Aerosmith, let's see who else played there. The Stones played there. Bruce Springsteen. The list is amazing. I'll share with you more information as it rolls out as soon as they confirm it officially. But my sources say they're coming back. October 8th is the first weekend. I think you'll enjoy that if you get a chance. It's just a fun part of the hospitality business, and it's why we get into it. So take a look at that. And if you have any questions at all, I don't have any odds for you because, I did not check up on the odds. My New Orleans Saints lost yesterday. I'm sorry to see that, but we move on. I have not checked on NHL odds today either. There's a couple of games coming up, and college basketball. I'll come up with some of those later for those of you who are interested. And your video introductions that you have given me, which have been fantastic. I'm looking forward to those as well. Check those because I respond to all of them, and I may ask you a few questions. So anyhow, take a look at that. That is due later on this week, if I'm not mistaken. If you have any questions, please let me know. You certainly know how to find me. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.